Hello and welcome to the channel, Simon Security Expert. Today I'm going to be ripping out a Texecom Premier Elite control panel with a load of wireless devices. I'm replacing it all for an Ajax Hub 2. I fitted this Texecom Premier around about 4 or 5 years ago and the customer has been on a maintenance contract with us ever since. They're not paying for this upgrade, we're doing it for them, and at the end of this video I'm going to explain to you why. First of all, I'm going to show you how it's done, the process of what we go through to install the new panel. So let's go, get it all done, and then we'll talk about it at the end. So here we have the Texecom Premier Elite keypad that will be going along with the panel that I'm disassembling here to take away. This is the brains of the panel, the control panel here. Next to it is the smart comm, underneath is the fuse spur, and above it is the speaker. So there's certainly plenty of components to this alarm system. So let's take all this apart now and take off the smart comm. We're not going to be needing that anymore. That's the part that speaks to the router to give you app access. Now let's get the back plate fitted for the new Ajax Hub Plus that's going to be installed instead. Thankfully I don't have to make another fuse spur because there's already one there. Click that into place. Pop the fuse in to give it mains power. There we go. And here's the Texecom equipment I've taken out. So, in the bin. In the bin. We're going to say it again, in the bin. Here's the lovely looking keypad, in the bin. Another PIR, in the bin. You get the picture anyway, I'm throwing it all in the bin. So let's get the equipment installed for the Ajax system. This is the keypad that's going into place. It's the nicest keypad they do actually. Looks absolutely lovely when it's installed, really fresh, really modern, looks great. Customer was made up with it. Let's have some coffee. And of course, my meal prep lunch at the moment because I'm getting ready to go away on holiday and I need to get in shape. So, here's some items that have been installed on the system. It's a perimeter protect system, which means that this customer can set the system when she is inside, move around, but all the windows and doors are protected. Now, some of you may have noticed that there was some holes and a bit of discoloration where the old panel was. So, I'm filling the holes here with some caulk. And I'm going to go over it with some paint because thankfully she had some paint in the shed from when the hall stairs and landing were painted. I'm just going to run over with it. This is really for anyone who's in the trade at all, just because you might not be, say, a decorator or something like that. If you can just go a little bit of the extra mile for your customers, they'll really appreciate it. So if you can do things like this, do it, because honestly she was so happy that now she doesn't necessarily have to go and get a painter and decorator in because of the work I've done, because of the upgrade I've done. So I painted around there and around the keypad as well, where there was just a bit of a misalignment. So, here we go. Right, so that's it, job all done. And let's make a move home and I'll talk with you a little bit about why I did what I did. Why I removed that Texecom system and put the Ajax Hub Plus in there instead. Let's get going, and once I'm on the road I'll tell you all about it. Right, so run over what I did. As you saw, I removed the Texecom Premier Elite 64 wireless and installed a Ajax Hub Plus, Ajax 2 Hub Plus. The reason for that is because that customer, she's a lovely woman and she's been a maintenance customer with us for about 5 years since I installed that system first of all, and every single year we get call outs to that system maybe 4 to 5 times a year. We've done all the upgrades on firmware of the panel, of the smart comm, of everything. We've changed detectors, we've put the back plates on the shock sensors to try and make them more reliable, and all we've had is nothing but problems. Genuinely felt sorry for her, and there's been actually, this is the 3rd or 4th time we've done this in the last few weeks already. It's actually costing us thousands of pounds, you know, my family business, it's costing us so much money. But the thing is, these customers, they pay us good money because we want to give them a good service. And at the end of the day, if their system isn't working for them, if their system isn't right, then they need it changed. because they need to have confidence in the security system that they're putting in. Texecom wireless equipment has given us nothing but problems over the last few years, and we've got hundreds of them because we thought, God, they'll get this right and we'll do an upgrade, because Texecom used to be great. I've got a Texecom Premier Elite in my own house. It's a wired system, it's not the wireless stuff, but it's fantastic, and it was the absolute pinnacle of technology in terms of alarm intrusion for maybe over a decade. So when they brought out their wireless kit, we had no reason to think that it would be no good. This is obviously my personal experience with Texecom, but realistically, I don't speak to people who think any differently. They've never made the system reliable. Their new capture range is better. It is a bit better, but overall, it's just not good enough. The battery life isn't long enough. We get battery faults with them within a few months, especially on those shock sensors and those door contacts with the Guardfather batteries that they come with. And all in all, it's just been so unreliable, we just don't want to use it anymore. And not only that, it's costing us a lot of money to rip them out, to put in an Ajax. Don't forget, it's not just the cost of the equipment of buying the Ajax, which isn't cheap, it's expensive. We've already bought the Texecom equipment, we paid for that, we're not getting that money back, that's gone. And not only that, there's a day's labour that's just taken me. So I arrived there just before 10 o'clock this morning, and it's now just on 4 o'clock. There's not really any other jobs I can do today. It's taken the full day's work. So all in all, we've lost out massively. The benefit for us is now, in future going forward, that a customer will stay on a maintenance contract. She's been with us, she trusts us, and that we'll do the right thing where we can. She will stay on a maintenance contract, so there is recurring income from that. So we will eventually recoup our money back, but it's going to take us years. But the thing is, we're not going to have any of these call outs. At least we shouldn't have any call outs to this system now. There should be no problems. Ajax has been so reliable, and I haven't got this great thing about it. I'm not affiliated to Ajax or anything like that. It's just a system that has come out in recent times and been solid and very good. Texecom, going back to that personal experience of it, it's simply not good enough. It's a shame. Not only that, they've actually just upped their prices for everything. They've actually put their prices up for some parts of their services they've put it up by over 100%. Now we can't then go and put that cost onto the customer. These are the things like their cloud services, which you don't have to pay for with Ajax, but you do have to pay for with Texecom, and they've just put it up by over 100%, and it already wasn't cheap. We can't now go and put those costs onto the customers. It's essentially just going to mean that over time we're just going to have to keep swapping those panels out for Ajax panels. And yeah, it's a shame, but at the same time, I suppose a slightly double-edged sword is part of the reason why I have created my own security system is down to the fact that I've seen Texecom and thought, I can do this better for a much lower cost for a DIY system that people will be made up with. So I suppose it's a double-edged sword. It's opened my eyes to the fact that even a major company such as Texecom can get it wrong. I think they have. Again, it's my personal opinion, but it's made me realise that I think I could do a better job with better customer service. Honestly, when I ring Texecom customer support, I could be waiting for ages before I actually get through to anyone, before I actually get any response. But that's the reason why I've done what I've done today. Would I recommend Texecom? No. If you're someone that's going to get a system professionally installed and the installer wants to put in Texecom, would I recommend it? No. Unless it's a wired system, then I could say, okay, that will be reliable. We've got a load of wired systems out there with dual comms installed for police response, and they've been fantastic. Honestly, bulletproof. But if you're going down the route of wireless Texecom, I don't recommend it. I think you'd be better off with an Ajax. So I'd say to your installer, your professional installer, I'd say I'd like to have Ajax if you can, please, and get them to put that in. Ajax have got a new wired range too. I haven't tested it well enough though to be able to say whether that would be the right option to take if you're going for a wired system on something like a large commercial unit. But that's it, guys. Appreciate it. If you've got this far, thank you very much. I'm going to keep making these videos, and thanks for coming along. Speak to you soon.